Why is it important to have faith when I'm praying? Is it not God? Is it not sovereign? Won't he just do whatever he wants to do in my life? If he loves me, why can't he just go ahead? And without my having faith, because you read Hebrews 11:6, that it's impossible to, receive from God without faith. Why? Can't just God just because I have heard as a pastor, I have had people make the comment that God will do whatever he wants to do, whether I believe it or not. Yeah, I'm asking.
God is not going to do, especially when it comes, like we have said earlier, that God, even though the earth belongs to God and everything in it is his, but he has given us this earth. He has given it to us as his children. Unfortunately, the Adam, when God gave it to Adam, Adam now gave the key or the totality of the what we can see that from when the devil came to tempt Jesus. He said, all these things, all these kingdoms of the earth belongs to me. I can give it to you if you release your worship to me. But what I'm saying is that God cannot perform anything on this earth unless we give him permission to do it. And yeah, he's sovereign, he's powerful, he sees everything, he knows everything, but he still requires our choice. Because if we don't give him the permission and he just barged in, just like you used last week about him creating Eve and Adam now telling him that, well, I didn't ask you to create a woman, you created her. If we do not ask God to come into the situation, even though we know that he's sovereign, but he has given us the authority on this earth. And we have to yield that authority to him by faith. The reason that it requires faith is because we have to believe. And that is the believing part. We have to know that he is the only one that can solve that problem. Nobody else can solve it. And we have to know that he is. And he has our back.
Amen. So in other words, faith is agreeing with God to intervene in our affairs.
Yes.
Without that agreement, without faith, God can't. Because that is the agreement that gives him the legal right to intervene in whatever we are believing in for. And I believe, just to give a scriptural backing to that, Mark 11:24. If you look at Mark chapter 11, verse 24, this is what Jesus, the Master, and this same Jesus said earlier, I believe in John 5:30, that I don't do anything or say anything by myself. As I hear, so I speak. Amen. He said, I can. So what he's now saying in Mark 11:24 is what the Father has told him. And what is that? He said, what things soever. Now, in the King James Version, I like the King James Version. It said, whatsoever you desire. Do you have a desire? Do you want that? Are there things you desire in your life? Jesus said, whatever you desire, whatever it is, as long as it's in line with the will of God. He said, when you pray, we are talking about effective prayer. And like Pastor, I'm just trying to add this icing on the cake for you, because so that you get out of that school of thought that it doesn't matter what you believe, God will do what you. No. The reason why many of us are stuck is because of that erroneous belief. Jesus said, believe. When you pray, believe that you receive them. You don't believe you receive them when they have come into your hand. But when you pray, you have to believe that you receive what you desire, what you are praying about. And then he said, you shall have them. Yes. So the having is contingent upon the believing. And that's what you are saying. If you don't believe it, you can't have it. That's scripture. So to have it, you have to believe it. And to believe it, you have to see, it's one after the other. You desire it, then you ask him. Then you believe you receive it, then God will bring it to you. So faith is important in effectual praying. Don't just say God will do what. God is telling you now through us. Jesus is telling you now, change that theology. Believe in your own prayer. Believe in Mark 11:23, he said, he that believes in that those things he says. In other words, have faith in your own words. You have to believe that what you say will come to pass before you have.